I had heard, and I understand that there's even members of the the British royalty that have taken an interest in the Falls of Clyde and recognized it. Is that right?
There's an ancestor of the firm that built the falls, a man by the name of Sir William Lithgow, who is a lord in Scotland, is still active, and obviously as a peer of the realm there, he's in contact with the royalty. And during the period of time last year when it looked like the ship was going to be sunk, some folks who know him here let him know what was going on. He, I know, sent personal letters to the Bishop Museum. He brought it to the attention of Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, the Queen's husband. And I believe that even a letter was officially sent from his offices to the Secretary of the Department of Interior in the U.S., trying to call the government's attention to what was going on out here. So there were a lot of things going on around us, as well as what we were doing here locally to save the ship.
Oh, wonderful. And that's what's so, I think, special about the Falls of Clyde, that it represents something broader than just a narrow slice of history. I mean, it shows that interconnectedness. And, there were times, of course, in King Kalakawa's day, he was the first monarch, I believe, to
circumnavigate the world.
Is that true?
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
Right. And it shows that we are an outward-looking, an island that benefits from our multicultural history. I think that's what really makes us so special, is the aloha spirit of Hawaii, is understanding that, we're the sum of the parts is greater than the whole, and that's what makes the Falls of Clyde so special to that spirit of trading, but also the spirit of the Scottish culture, don't you think, Michael?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Bruce, I understand you have your top 10 reasons why the people of Hawaii should get involved with saving the Falls of Clyde. Would you like to give us a top, maybe 10 going down to 5? Give us half that list.
Yeah, please, tell us.
Half the list, I'd probably want to start at 5 so we can get to number 1. Yeah, this was an idea we came up with because, as Representative Ching, you indicated earlier, as an organization that needs public support, for our heritage endeavors. I mean, we need to reach out and tell people, why they should be supporting the Falls of Clyde. So we went with the top 10 list, like, David Letterman. However, unlike his that are very whimsical, these aren't. These are serious. Serious, yes.
Yes, serious.
All right, I'll start with number 5. Number 5 is the economic benefits that we believe support of the falls will bring. We're looking at a number of different things. We're looking at skill development. We want to develop artisans here locally, because once the ship, during the restoration period and afterwards, it needs to be maintained, and we need people. We want to train people to have the skills to maintain a ship of that nature. There'll be employment opportunities. I mean, the ship will be back to provide the tours for the school children, for the local residents, and for tourists. So there'll be job opportunities there. Plus, it'll be a tourist attraction, so there'll be the revenues from the admission to the ship. So we see that as all benefiting the local economy. Number 4, we believe that the ship needs to be seen as part of a colorful era in history. You mentioned King Kalakaua. The Falls of Clyde, I believe, is a little bit older than Iolani Palace, but as both are on the national, are designated national landmarks. The fact that it was a sailing ship for many years and a steamship, it had a variety of lives at sea that just, and the feeling that people get from when they're out sailing, is really something that's important. and a ship that spent so much time at sea, going around the world as Falls did, is very colorful. It's got a definitely colorful history. Number 3 is emotional connection for our citizens. The ship has been here a long time. It's been part of the Honolulu Harbor for over 40 years. There have been thousands and thousands of people, local people, who have gone aboard. We've heard, as we've gotten into this project, we've heard individual stories from people who were here, as school children, helping to raise the money to buy the ship. Then they were going aboard the ship, and now they're adults taking their children and grandchildren aboard the ship. People who volunteered to work on the ship during the various stages of its restoration. People who were there getting married, a variety of events. You mentioned fundraisers. I mean, the deck of a ship is an extremely enticing venue for many, many kinds of activities. So, and people who have gone aboard the ship almost automatically feel, a connection with it. A ship, like any living thing, and even inanimate things, and Hawaiians believe that everything has mana, and we believe that the ship has a great deal of mana, and that everybody who has a connection with the ship leaves some of their mana there. Number 2 is the prestige of having a tall ship here as part of an international maritime history. I think you've mentioned that earlier, that a tall ship is something that's recognized around the world. There are tall ship sailings literally everywhere in the world. If some people could dream that the Falls might sail again as a tall ship, that would be great. But at least once we get the masts up and she stands tall, you've got that recognition. I mean, it's possible that the United Nations may even designate an international maritime cultural area that would basically incorporate the entire world, and wherever there was a tall ship or a ship of great historical value would be part of that heritage center. So that would link us up. And number 1, and you also mentioned this, she's an endangered species, a unique treasure, the only one of its kind left in the world. She survived for 180 years. Excuse me,
30.
aging her.
Yeah, that's okay.
130 years. Hopefully, in 50 years, she'll be 180 years old and still be afloat. And we believe that is something worth supporting today and for the future.